Said I'm so fly, just like the insect. Rocket over twin jet. Face to face with me, already know you get a chin check. Fantastic, like my limb stretch. Topic of the
Amazing. Welcome to the Oddcast, talking to odd people in this odd world and seeing what they have to say. My name's Flamo, and today we have a very, very special guest, and I'm very excited to, you know, give an intro to Joké, writer, strategist, future sex guru. I don't know, weeb, comic book writer, innovator, so many things. Hey, Joké.
Hi. Oh, thanks for the intro.
Yeah. How's life been going?
Mm. life is lifing, but I've been really optimistic lately, so I'm pretty impressed by my ability to remain optimistic as of late.
I want to say I'm impressed, but that requires me not knowing that you already have the skill. So I'm not impressed. Not at all.
Wow. Thank you. So I didn't know I had the skill, so I'm glad you said.
You're like, listen, nigga, I am a survivor. I'm a believer. I will survive.
Like, ooh, was not sure.
I know life this year has been really interesting. Like, how the fuck are we graduating into a recession? Like, the apocalypse is happening.
No, literally, like so many bad things are happening at once, and I'm like, what, sitting here like interviewing, like,
Yeah.
for like, yeah, and like trying to get all these like different things off the ground, and it's like it feels so unserious.
Yeah. But, hopefully they become more serious soon.
Yeah.
Everything's a little unserious, and that's the fun part. Like, it's not that serious. But then it
This
does
is
become serious, and
true.
you're like, I wish it was unserious again.
I guess that's true, because I feel like you're right. It's kind of bittersweet. It's like on one hand, it's like, yeah, I'm doing these things that are like hee hee, and then one day they're gonna be something bigger. But then it's like, damn, is this gonna suck my happiness out of it?
And then they're gonna be like, Monarch Mason,
Right.
what do we do about this? 30 options that you have to make right now. You're like, dude, you. Just let me go back to like watching anime.
Right, literally, I was having fun.
So really, let's enjoy this unseriousness.
Real.
Awesome. I wanted to ask you a few questions because you're like an interesting human, of course, and that's what you're here. And I wanted to start off with like, what's been your experience in New York and being a creative?
In New York?
In New York specifically, because I know you have a very interesting background.
I love being creative in New York, but I feel like it's just such a creative place. Like I feel like there's so much inspiration to find, and I feel like I was laughing because like sometimes I go to like creative quote unquote events in New York, but it's always just full of niggas I already know.
You're like, this ain't that creative actually.
Like I already know y'all, but it's just because like pretty much everyone I'm close to here does something which I really love, and like like I love being out just at fun events or parties because I just like to go out and dance, and then inevitably finding out that all these people like host their own events or do this or draw or this or whatever, and it's so cool to find out what everyone's creative endeavors are and just like get to support or show out for that. So I don't know, I think it's very inspiring. I think New York is such a great place to randomly have like conversations that just really spark your inspiration. Like I met someone a couple months ago that fully sparked like a bunch of the stuff that I'm doing now just by like a random phrase they said in a conversation. The phrase was "great things take time."
Was Stanley? Stanley's been dead, okay.
It was not. It was not. It was honestly just a reminder. Like it's not even like I had, didn't know that or hadn't thought about it, or but we were just having a conversation about something they had done that I thought was really cool, and they were just detailing how long they had sat on that and how long it had taken them to actually take it from their brain into the world. And so they're like, yeah, for a lot of people they just see it going up and it being so successful now, but it's like this actually took me a long time to flesh out and get all these little details that y'all are appreciating. Like this didn't come out of nowhere. Like this was years of me planning this. And it was just that reminder of like feeling like, oh, I don't want to start because then I'm going to want to be done and be able to show people and do it and have it matter, and realizing and remembering that like, no, there's a lot of times years of prep work that go into these things that you think are so amazing.
I completely agree. And I feel like it's not as easy as being like, oh, one day I woke up and did it and actually started putting the work in the hours. Sometimes it blossoms and you don't even know it blossoms. Like this whole idea with the podcast honestly started up as me joining class and being like, I want to make a comic book with my best friend. Guess what? My best friend was like, yeah, I'm gonna be flaky, and I ended up doing something totally different. So this idea sparked like since I was like in my teens. So it's a longer quest than we expect. That's interesting though. I wanted to ask you like, what did New York teach you about yourself? What personality traits have you grown being in New York specifically?
I mean, I think I always knew this about myself, but I think New York always reaffirms it. Like, I mean, I've had a pretty crazy tumultuous life for the most part. But New York is very much a part of that as well. But not in a bad way. I think New York just reminds you, like, that you are not as in control as you think you are. That there are a lot of other things at play in the world, and that you have to adjust, you have to pivot. The change is inevitable. It just reminds you that, like, you can survive. Like, if you're a survivor, if you're a hustler, like, you're gonna be okay. And I'm very much that type of person. Like, I have always been someone who, like, the one thing I know about myself is, like, I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm gonna make sure it's good. Like, even when something very suddenly changes, or I'm like, I had this job and now I don't, or this system closed, or this program isn't a thing anymore, or whatever. Like, I've always been able to make it work, make ends meet, handle it. And that's, like, something that I think New York always reminds me of, is, like, that I'm a survivor. I can do what I need to do, when I need to do it. And even though that's exhausting, like, I think New York City can be, yeah, New York City can be tiring. It's hard to be stable sometimes, but I think that it also does remind you that, like, you gonna be alright.
Honestly, that's so funny because I also been realizing this, and I always knew this about me, but yeah, constantly being that person. That's what I think about, being that human that is like, regardless of everybody, I'm gonna be wearing my clothes and my makeup, and I'm gonna go out there looking away. And I'm getting this from my mom because she's always been like, regardless of everything, you gotta go out there, like, you're gonna make something out of yourself. Some tough shit, dude.
No, that's real.
Some tough shit. What's the hardest obstacle that you've been dealing with this year? It could be anything, or something that just been like, dude, I did not see this shit coming.
It's, like, so funny because I'm like, so many things have happened this past year that were really, really difficult. Like, like, dealing with, like, layoffs this year, changes in finances, housing issues, all of that stuff. That, I'm, luckily for me, doing so much better in all those spaces now, and have kind of, kind of rebuilt it all. But honestly, I feel like the biggest thing that I struggled with this year was just, like, I just really, like, just had this moment where I just, like, did not like myself at all. Like, I hadn't been able to forgive myself for some things that I had experienced, and I was feeling just, like, a lot of shame around it. Um and I didn't realize how much I was carrying that with me, or how much I was judging myself, or how much I just felt like, I don't know, like, I had just lost sight of what I deserve for a while. And it, like, literally led to me, like, writing myself a full affirmation so that I didn't forget that again, because I was like, I had gotten myself in a place where I just felt stuck in every way. And, like, but stuck not because I, like, couldn't do anything else, I guess, but stuck because I didn't think I deserved anything else, or I couldn't see myself achieving anything else for a little bit. And I just, like, lost sight of who I was for a while. And it was just because a lot of things changed. I was dealing with, like, just, like, things in every aspect, like, interpersonally, like, in my business life. It was just, like, all at once, and I was just like, oh, maybe I'm just not who I think I am. Right.
I'm not the person that's supposed to be that person.
Right.
That's crazy because I'm also going through something similar to that, where I'm just like, everybody tells me I'm the shit. I'm supposed to be the main character. I'm doing great. Not the main character, but everybody's telling me you are that person, if anybody. But I don't believe in myself. And recently I've been going through a lot also. And I'm like, dude, if I have one more loss, it's over. I'm like, I'm moving back with my parents. I'm quitting all of this shit. I'm going to get like a fucking 9 to 5 and saying goodbye to all of this. But recently, a small red-haired gremlin is helping me realize that, and it's helping me realize that, nah, you could do this. You could keep going if you just have a little bit more compassion for yourself, and also a little bit of help from your friends. I think, how do you feel about that? Friendship being a part of, like, the creative process. How much does that affect you, and how much do you take from that?
I mean, I would say a lot, because I think, like, I don't know, I think in general, people in my life, I'm also someone who's very, very close to, like, my siblings, my cousins, and those are also some of my best friends. And just, like, those reminders that, you're not in something alone, because I think it can be really easy to feel that way, that you're just, like, here by yourself, that you don't have anyone to support you or believe in you and all of that. It just goes a long way in reminding you, you're not stuck anywhere. You're not like, 'cause I don't know, like when I was going through all the things I was going through this year, yeah, like, and I feel like it's actually been a lot of people's stories this year. I don't know, the New York City housing market is really hell. So it was just like
one of the many things in New York that are hell.
truly. So it was just one of those things where I was just like, where am I gonna be, And I'm not someone who really I think a lot of people have places to go. And that's not to say that I don't have places I could go, but there's not really like a particularly like ideal.
There's not like a hate man that you're like, right, for sure it's there and I'm gonna make it.
Right. Like I don't necessarily have that. And so I think I was like, what am I gonna do? And so I think having friends who just reassure you, like, nobody's gonna let you, no one's gonna let you hit rock bottom. Like, we got you. Like, that helps me a lot. And I think helps take the pressure off. Because I think when you have like so many things that are falling apart, it can be hard to make time for your creative self because you're just like, I don't even have a moment to breathe, let alone brainstorm anything. And so realizing that I always have a minute to breathe because no one in my life is gonna let me like truly like hit the ground in the worst way possible is very helpful, and it's definitely helped me like reaffirm, I think, a lot of belief in myself, and just like remembering like that I don't have to settle, I think, because I think for a while, like at the beginning of this year, I was just settling in every aspect of my life because I had forgotten that I can always have more and always have better, and I was just really settling for the bare minimum in every place.
So basically, not basically, because you said a lot of really awesome information, but from what I took away from is that friends are, of course, a second family that we choose, and they are also guardians in a way. That like siblings, like they're like older brothers, even though some of them are not even older than you. That will be like, yo, if you need some help, you need some advice, you need some money, nigga, I got you.
Yeah.
And it's good to remember that because how we started this conversation was that we are those niggas, but we don't have to be that nigga every single day of every single time because that's a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy to look confident, act confident, do everything correct. Sometimes things are gonna fall on the side. That's okay. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Definitely when you're kind of always that person and you're, used to being relied on and all of that, the first time you need that, you're like, hey, yo, I don't know nothing about this. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about being down. What you
right.
And then when you're down for the first time, when you're actually down in the floor, you're like, maybe this is where I should have been this entire time.
Right.
You're not used to it. You're not a middle or a younger sibling. You're the older sibling, the sibling that has to have their shit together.
Exactly. The sibling that's always had their, had it together, always been, when somebody needs money, it's me. I have them, So it just, it is new, but it is that reminder that like, that also those relationships are reciprocal and that you might feel like I don't know, that being reminded that those people also want to help you and that you might feel like, oh, I never get to be down, but those people actually probably don't feel that way about you. Like, they don't mind, helping you out when you need it. Because people are so quick to be like, you've literally helped me so many times. Of course I'm going to be there for you. It's just my own brain.
Yo, honestly, because I feel like we share similar wavelengths in that way where it's just like, damn, nigga, I do have to be on all the goddamn time. No, I feel that. And I honestly, and that brings me to the next question, which is like, why strategy? Why strategy?
I mean, I like when I went to college, I did a lot of
so many years ago.
LOL. I did a lot of things. And my first job out of college just ended up being at an agency where I was a brand strategist and marketing strategist. Blah blah.
What would have been the dream job, if you would have stepped out?
Ooh, if I just like could do okay.
The money's not a thing.
Money's not a thing?
Yeah, money doesn't exist. What's money?
Oh, if money's not a thing, I think that I'm just like, it's probably twofold. I'm probably just learning skills for the rest of my life. Like, I'm just like doing something new all the time. Like, I would have a farm and a garden, but also be a dancer and also like, be writing and also just like, I would just probably learn every skill I've ever wanted to learn. I would be a scientist. I would just like learn everything about the world probably forever. But No, honestly, I'm like literally if it was like I passed the hunter exam and I just have like access to money all the time and I can do whatever, I would just do shit. Like um but I think that probably also ties itself to just like me being just like mesmerized by the human condition. Like my second degree is in philosophy, and I always joke that I was born at the wrong time, because if I had been born at the time where like rich people would just have philosophers like live in their house and just think and write.
That was the thing.
So like okay, during like the Enlightenment era, when like a lot of like, you know, the philosophical thought that like we first think of with like white people in Europe and blah blah, part of the way that those thinkers got to just sit and think was they would basically get like royalty or people like in the royal bloodlines would just have them like live in their palaces and just like think, because it added prestige to you as like someone in the royal family when you just had like thinkers that wrote from your palace. When people come to visit, they would be like entertained by like the conversation, like things like that. And it was just like,
and now we're influencers. That's what you're telling me.
Right, literally.
Everybody got a goddamn opinion. Everybody's a philosopher.
Exactly.
That's so interesting.
But I just always thought it would be so cool to just like be paid to just like sit and think.
I kind of want to be paid to sit and think. Wait, this is kind of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, no, but honestly, I really do feel like sometimes when it comes to like podcasts or influencers or people whose platforms are based on sharing their opinions and thoughts, that it's really just us recreating that, in the sense that like you're just sponsored to think and people are riveted by those things.
Hopefully one day. Now that's nuts. And you know, you mentioned philosophy, which is fascinating, because when you were talking about the many jobs of apparently being a farmer, dancer, and also you didn't mention anything about the title that I gave you, which is sex guru, because I know that's a field that you are very interested in and very honestly educated on.
Yeah, I think that's like kind of like so tied into my writing for me. Like I think I love getting to like write, especially like educational things about sex. Like being a sex writer has been so dope for me. And like definitely.
You wanna, I don't know, plug?
Oh my god, yeah. You guys should check out the publication Them, literally THEM. It's a queer publication, so for the gays, you guys probably know what it is. But I am a contributor and freelance writer there pretty often, and I do a lot of like sex and relationships and a little culture writing for them. It's my favorite thing that I do, probably at this very second, at least, just because it kind of was also just something that really came out of nowhere. I feel like the same about like, you know, our project together, just came out of nowhere, and that's really cool. So yeah, but that's getting to like write about sex, and especially queer sex, is just like really cool. And I think there's just so like much miseducation about it, and just like I don't know, about sex in general, and just like because it's such a taboo topic in our society, like even just saying the word sex is like for so many things. Right, everything's different, and it's like it shouldn't be all that to talk about something that a solid chunk of us do and enjoy, or should enjoy at least. And that's always the unfortunate part, is that it's something that you should enjoy but so many people aren't, because we can't talk about it. So I think that's like been something that has been really cool to enforce in my platform. But you know, it is something that I'm learning is really important to me, and learning that I have to, when it comes to other jobs that I do or other roles that I do, have to accept that those things have to be comfortable with the fact that I like talk about sex on the internet. So
just by the way, if you were curious, I do talk about sex on the internet. It's like, yeah. Okay.
No, for sure.
No, that's real. That's real. And honestly, you're already contributing so much to the world at this young age. But what is one thing that you want to leave in the world if you were to be 90 and you want to look back at one thing that you have left out in this world?
Honestly, what's so crazy is like I don't know if I have anything tangible that I care about leaving. I hope that I like there are things that I hope I accomplish, right? You know, like I hope to have like a home for like queer youth who struggle with homelessness or things like that I hope are legacies, I suppose. But truthfully, the thing that I care about more than anything is that I hope that when people talk about me, that they just remember me as being kind, and just like willing to go the extra mile for people, like willing to, like I remember one time my friend, I had done something for him, and he said that he was like, I love you because you are the definition of community aid and solidarity to me.
Wow.
And that is how I hope to be remembered. Like that's all I care about, is that people who interacted with me felt like I show up. Yeah.
I hope you this could be. I hope this adds to the pile of compliments you were soon to have, and means a lot that I do see you as that. And I feel like I have many experiences with people and struggling to trust people, but you have somehow gained my trust in such a fragile and deep thing that I want to do. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
And it's just like, yeah, I really, really do appreciate you, and you do come off of that. Like, there's no time that I'm just like, yeah, Adejoké is gonna drop the fucking ball. Sometimes I pray on your downfall, so I'm like, okay, I don't have to do this project anymore. But then you always come through, and I'm like, fuck, I guess I have to bring the thunder.
So real.
So you help me be better in that way, and I appreciate you for that.
I'm glad you
Enough
feel
with the
that
sappy
way.
shit. To finish this off, what do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What do you want to accomplish? What don't you want to accomplish?
Child.
Okay, child, that's one.
I don't even know. God, definitely not a child. I don't even know, like, because I feel like the world is changing so rapidly that sometimes it's hard for me to imagine even like what the landscape of life will look like in the next 5 years. But in the next 5 years, I'll be what, 29? So I hope that I am.
Not terrified of being 30.
You know, I'm like, I hope I'm comfortable. Honestly, I hope that's what it is. I hope that I have, built through my 20s so that as 30's knocking, that I'm like, now I kind of know what's up. I kind of know where I'm going. Things have gotten off the ground. Like, it's not like I feel like I'm at a place where I'm building a lot from ground zero right now. I'm hoping that by 29, it's like, yeah, I might still be working on things. I might still be building things, but it's not ground zero. It's things are pretty far along. My stuff is out there. We're on project number 3.
And your people are coming to you
Right.
for stuff. Hey, just to let you know, even though anything could happen in the world and we expect the best, just know that you're you, and you will be able to rebuild. Maybe not infinitely, but you are strong enough to rebuild and do better, and that could be a good thing.
I've definitely learned that I can get cut down. I can build again. That has definitely been the lesson of the year. Definitely.
Okay, and now we're in the last minutes of this. What do you want to say? What do you want to plug?
I mean, plug. Wow, that's so crazy.
Go on, shout people out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have anything particularly special to say. I mean,
You already said a lot of special things.
oh wow, thank you. That was actually so nice of you. I mean, I think like I hope anyone who's listening is having a great day. I hope you guys are showing up for your people and people you love. I feel like I don't know. This year has reminded me that that's really all that matters. So I hope everyone is doing that. I hope if you guys like or have educational needs in the sex and relationship space, that you guys check me out, that you follow me, that you read my articles. I hope if you like writers that you also check me out, because I hopefully will be releasing lots of things over the next few years. So
word up.
Yeah.
And that's Adejoké, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.